Hello, welcome to the Rocky Mountain Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us either live or on the on-demand recording. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. If you're live, you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your cameras and microphones are off. Panelists can't see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening. Be sure to sign up for more if you haven't done so already at the same place you can sign that you signed up for this one. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week. It's drivescan.com/RMACAC. I've gotten the housekeeping stuff out of the way, so I'll step out of the way now and turn it over to our presenters. Our first presentation coming from Lycoming College.
All right, thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. My name is Tori. I am an admissions counselor from Lycoming College. I work with a lot of students from our non-contiguous states. So if you're not a bordering state, chances are you work with one of me. So I am going to just share my screen. I apologize, my animals are particularly noisy tonight. So if you hear anything in the background, it's my dog and my rabbit. So if you've never heard of Lycoming before, which is probably likely, we are a small private liberal arts college in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Williamsport is kind of in the middle of Pennsylvania. We're best known for being the home of the Little League World Series. So if you have heard of us, that's probably why. Like I said, we're a pretty small school, so we have about 1,200 students on campus at any time. All of our students, at least overwhelming majority of our students do live on campus, so we truly are a residential community. We have students from all over the place. So like I said, I work with a lot of students who come to us from far away. So we get students from all over the US and all over the world, really, about 15 different countries. Like I said, we have about 1,200 students and somewhere between 90 and 100 full-time faculty. So we have a really nice student to faculty ratio of just 12:1. So basically what this translates to is small class sizes and really strong relationships with your faculty. So you're truly collaborating with the experts in your field as early as your first year, and you build great relationships that are going to help you, in terms of finding professional references, but also grad school recommendations and all of those things that will serve you throughout your career. A couple of our rankings are at the bottom of the screen if you're interested in that kind of thing. The one I always like to point out is that we're consistently placed on Forbes top ROI colleges. So that just means return on investment. So what they're saying is all the hard work, the money, the time, the energy that you put into your education at Lycoming pays off because we do have great success in placing students in full-time employment that pays well after graduation. So 98.6% of our most recent graduating class was fully employed or in graduate school within 6 to 12 months of graduation, which is of course your goal, it's our goal, so we're really proud of that stat. In terms of our education, we are a liberal arts college. As I mentioned, we follow a 21st century liberal arts ethos. So you're going to take some classes outside of your major focus. And this is just to help you develop yourself as a well-rounded professional with a well-rounded, base of knowledge. You can see some of our newer and more exciting majors on the screen, but I'll share some of our more popular majors as well. So our most popular majors are criminal justice, psychology, business, accounting, any of the natural sciences, so biology, chemistry, and biochemistry, and then music and art are also very popular. But as you can see, we have over 43 majors and 66 minors. That's growing all the time, so we're adding new majors and minors constantly. So hopefully we have something here for you if this is the type of school that you're interested in. Beyond the classroom, we do have a really strong focus on experiences outside of the classroom, because again, this is what you want to help develop those real tangible skills. So we do ask all of our students to complete at least one enhanced academic experience. So this could be an internship, some type of field work, a high-level research project, or a study abroad opportunity. And you do have a specific career advisor who works with you one-on-one based on your field that you're interested in throughout your entire time at Lycoming. So this is in addition to your academic advisor. You'll have a career advisor to help you find these opportunities, but also to help with your professional development. In terms of student life, there's always something going on in the community and on campus. We have over 80 clubs and organizations. And again, that's always growing, and you can always be the next person to start a new club on our campus. Currently, we actually just added 2 new sports. So we now have 19 Division III athletic teams. We just added field hockey and baseball. So we're really excited about that. And another really unique thing that we have is our outdoor leadership and education program. If you're not familiar with Pennsylvania, we have some really beautiful nature here in Pennsylvania and some of the surrounding states. So we want to take advantage of that as best we can. So this program specifically supports taking students into the nature and doing outdoor activities to both teach outdoor skills, but also some type of personal or professional skills. So they do about 100 trips a year, and typically 98 out of 100 of those are free for students, both in Pennsylvania and the surrounding states, as I mentioned. So really great things to do on and off campus. Lots of cool events, especially, you know, during non-COVID times, like our annual concert is a really big hit. So we're really excited about that. I think that's all I have, because I know I don't have much time. So please do reach out if you have further interest in learning more about Lycoming. And thanks so much for being here with us tonight.
Thank you very much. If you have questions for any of our reps, use the Q&A button. You can do that at any time. Also, check out the chat. The reps might send you information that way, and the useful stuff that you can find there. Up next, let's hear from Xavier University.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Let me share my screen here. Okay. Thanks so much again for having me on. My name is Tim Wilms. I'm the Regional Recruitment Director, and I specifically work with our folks from the Rocky Mountain ACAC. So I do work with students in Colorado, in the surrounding area. Xavier University. So we are in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm coming from Cincinnati here today. And here's some just basic information about the school. We have about 4,900 undergraduate students. That's usually pretty level. Sorry, I just started my timer here too, so I'll end a couple seconds early. We are the 4th oldest Jesuit university in the nation's 6th oldest Catholic university. And the way that I describe Xavier is because we are a D1 school, and we're just about 5 minutes north of downtown Cincinnati, but you can also see that it's a pretty green campus, very walkable campus, a very accessible campus. You kind of get the best of both worlds. You know, we're small enough where we do have an average class size of 21, a 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio. It's the kind of place you're going to get to know the people around you, especially you're going to get to know your professors. Even better, they'll get to know you. And on the flip side, we are a D1 school. We're in the Big East Conference. So basketball games, that's kind of our bread and butter. So folks all over the country know Xavier for the basketball, but also for the academics, certainly for the Jesuit approach to education as well. The other big thing for you to know, if you are coming from, you know, obviously from someplace out in the mountain time, one of the nice things is you're not going to be coming alone, in the sense that we do have 48 of the 50 states represented at Xavier, and actually 63% of our students come from outside the state of Ohio. So that's one of the nice things about Xavier is you're going to really get a lot of great opportunities. I don't know why there we go. It wasn't working for me there. A lot of great opportunities to meet people from all over the country, but it's a really personal experience on campus as well. I mentioned we're a Jesuit institution, so that's one of the great parts about the Jesuits. If you don't know who they are, real quickly, the Jesuits are an order of Catholic priests founded about 500 years ago. They've been around a long while, but there's 27 Jesuit colleges and universities all over the country. We're proud to be the 4th oldest, like I mentioned, but kind of what you're going to get at this Jesuit university is an opportunity to have a holistic approach to education. So one of the ways that we help our students do that is to provide kind of a Jesuit liberal arts approach to education, pairing with your major. So a lot of opportunities in your major, but also to have a well-rounded experience in and outside the classroom as well. Along with that, we do have 90 majors and 60 minors. So, you know, like I said, you'll take a variety of core classes paired with your major classes. And one thing here on the bottom right-hand corner that I think is true to the Jesuit approach to education as well is we have a student success team for our students at Xavier. So every one of our students, regardless of their major or their career outcomes, is going to have an academic advisor, a financial aid counselor, and then a student success coach and a career coach. So the success coach will help you transition from high school to college and make sure you are successful at the university. and a career coach to help you find those internships, those jobs, whether they're in Cincinnati or back home, or Chicago or in New York or California. Plenty of opportunities for our students to find those internships, and that's a specialty of ours for sure. So we want to make sure you're successful in the classroom and outside the classroom at Xavier. And what that leads to is a 98% job placement rate. So within 6 months of graduation, 98% of our students are working full time. They're pursuing graduate studies, and 2% of the 98% are doing a year of service after graduation. So that could be military service, the Peace Corps, Jesuit Volunteer Corps, all that good stuff. As far as campus life goes at the university, you'll see on the top right there, we do have 170 plus clubs and organizations. It's easy to get involved at Xavier. I should have mentioned as well, you get free tickets to all the basketball games, soccer games, or as a lot of folks like to put it, already paid for, right, as part of tuition. But it's easy to dive into the Xavier community, right? A lot of our students have leadership opportunities. A lot of our students do get involved. 64% actually do have a leadership role at some point or another on campus. So there's a lot of great information here. I know if you're interested, you can always go back to this recording. 33% of our students do study abroad in one way or another at the university. And the nice thing is, if you're doing a semester-long study abroad, you're going to get the same scholarships and financial aid there that you would get here at Xavier. So a lot of opportunities there for our students to dive into the campus community. As far as the application process goes, we do take a holistic review when we're looking at your application, and we are a test optional institution as well. So we've been test optional now the last 2 or 3 years, and we do intend to continue being test optional moving forward, even after the pandemic. So what that means is if you're taking the ACT or you're taking the SAT, we do super score. So if you've taken both, you can send multiple test scores in, and we'll put those together for you to create a new super score to your benefit. But if you've taken those test scores or you've taken those tests and the scores don't match up with where you're at academically, it's okay. You don't have to submit those test scores. One of the big things to circle here, we do have a December 1st priority deadline. So if you want to apply for nursing or for any of our competitive scholarships, any of our honors programs, make sure you fill out that application by December 1st, but we are on rolling admission. So as soon as you apply and get all those materials into us, typically it takes about 3 or 4 weeks to get that application ready. And that's my information here. Like I said, I work with students out in your area, and I'm looking forward to working with you throughout the next handful of years. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Any questions can be submitted using the Q&A button. And up next, let's hear from Kenyon College.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mackie Avis. I am the Senior Assistant Director of Admissions here at Kenyon College. Excuse me while I pull up my screen right here for our presentation. As you can see from the presentation I'm about to pull up, I'm also a member of the class of 2013. 1 second here. Okay, here we go. And thanks again for joining us all tonight. Kenyon College, who are we, where are we? So we are in Gambier, Ohio. We're about an hour northeast of Columbus, Ohio. We are, no mistake, we are in a rural part of the country. With that said, we are not going to be confused with anything like Washington, D.C. or New York City or LA or any other major city in this country. And we like it that way. So just to give you a quick visual, this is where we are. So as you can see, yeah, very green, very pastoral, very lush, and no skyscrapers or anything like that. With Kenyon, we're part of this academic community. So there's a lot of intention with that. I think it takes a lot of maturity to seek that kind of academic institution out as a high schooler. So giving a little bit more of a visual here too, this is Middle Path. And so Middle Path connects North Campus and South Campus. It is 0.6 of a mile long, to be precise. And we like to call this sort of like the main artery of campus. It runs the spine of campus, and basically all of our administrative buildings, our academic buildings, and our residential buildings sort of stem off of that. Just want to sort of give you that visual of the fall here at Kenyon. We are an absolutely stunning campus during the fall, In fact, we have been ranked the most beautiful campus in the world by Forbes a couple of years ago. Give you another idea of Kenyon here. This is our dining hall. We have one dining hall on campus. And the one thing I want to emphasize with Kenyon and just generally liberal arts colleges that you guys are sort of maybe looking at as you start to form your list here as juniors. Liberal arts colleges like Kenyon generally like to have 100% of their students on campus all 4 years. And so with that, we have one dining hall, we have one science quad, we have one first year quad, we have one athletic center. So students really get to work with each other. They get to live with each other. They get to eat with each other. They get to work out with each other, study together. And with that, definitely a shared sense of community comes with that. So if you're a kind of student that's looking to be a big fish in a small pond and not be ambiguous with your college situation, we are a place for you. The other thing that's related to that, and this is sort of the piece where I want to jump into academics here, sort of transition to what happens within the four walls of the classroom. When we like it that way. Really at Kenyon, I think you really do become more of an academic extrovert in a way, because you will be graded on how you prepare for class and how you contribute to the discussions that are had in these classes. The other thing to mention too with our academic setup is that of course you will have a major. The most popular majors at Kenyon are English and Econ. They sort of switch off 1 and 2 as our most popular majors. We also have bio and chem are very popular. And then after that, history, poli-sci, some of our languages. So that kind of gives you an idea that we're very balanced here at Kenyon. I don't think any major has any priority or over the other or anything like that. That said, please know, and I think if you've done any preliminary research on Kenyon, or if you've talked to anyone who's a Kenyon alum, who's one of your teachers, or someone down the street from you that is a Kenyon alum, they've probably talked about how we are known for writing at Kenyon. And writing really happens across all of the academic spectrum here. So not just our English majors who write, but it's everybody. So our physics majors write, our math majors write, our bio majors write, and they write well. And so we also have the Kenyon Review on campus, which is a world famous lit mag that students can actually work for. So yeah, just please know that writing is what we're known for, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. Other things to mention too about Kenyon's academics, we are on a traditional semester system, and you don't have to declare a major until fall of your junior year. So you have plenty of time to dabble in a lot of different things before you figure out what it is you want to do academically. So for example, it's not uncommon to hear students come in thinking they're going to be a classics major and then they leave a chemistry major, or students who come in thinking they're going to be an econ major and they leave a studio art major. And that's what we really encourage at Kenyon. I think generally speaking, what really separates other Kenyon students from other liberal arts colleges is that they work hard, they learn for the sake of learning, they put their best foot forward every day in class, and then they realize, you know, all those things will take care of themselves down the road, whether that's at internship or grad school or that first job out of college. So that's really all from me, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. As you can see here, there's our Instagram and Twitter handles. There's my contact information. So if you have any questions to follow up on, there's your space for that. Yeah, but give us a follow, guys. Our communications office does a great job pushing out very relevant content about what it's like to be a Kenyon student and what you should be thinking about with your college search. That's all for me. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Any questions can be asked using the Q&A button. Check out the chat for possible information coming from our representatives to you that way. Up next, let's hear from Dickinson College.
Hi, thanks very much. I'm going to share my screen. My name is Angie Fernandez-Barone. I'm a member of the admissions staff at Dickinson, and I'm actually also an alumna and a Dickinson mom. I'm really excited to be here with you today and tell you a bit about Dickinson. So Dickinson is a small liberal arts college located in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. We are the 16th oldest college in the United States. The college has quite an extraordinary history, founded by a signer of the Declaration of Independence. Small college, but just over 2,000 students. So thousands of students on our campus. The smallness is really felt in the academic environment, where we have an 8-to-1 student faculty ratio and an average class size of 14. 80% of our classes are under 20 and all of our classes are under 50. So small classes and close work with faculty are really the hallmark of the Dickinson experience. There are a few other interesting notes here, but I'm going to go to my next screen and we'll dig down into all of these pieces. So here's more about the academic program. As I said, an 8-to-1 student faculty ratio and an average class size of 14, 46 different majors. There's a note there that 53% of our students major in an interdisciplinary field. So let me show you the academic program, give you a sense of what that means. Our majors are here in red, minors, certificate programs, other concentrations and professional advising programs are not in red. When you look at those majors, you're going to see a number of areas that might align with things that you've studied in high school. Those are the more disciplinary. The interdisciplinary are those programs that bridge different areas. So our newest major is data analytics. It's a largely math and computer science, but draws on courses in ethics and a wide variety of areas. Our largest major is international business and management, which is a combination of everything from business and economics to international language culture courses. So just a couple of examples. Our most popular majors: international business and management, biology, English, psychology, political science. Neuroscience is our fastest growing major, just to give you a sampling of the academic programs that are most popular. Okay, a couple of things that really define Dickinson. Our global program is tremendous. There is a note at the bottom of the screen about the Senator Simon Award being granted to Dickinson. It is the top award for comprehensive internationalization. Dickinson received this award the year that it was created, and then we didn't apply. They wouldn't let us apply for about a decade so that they could recognize other programs. And then when we had the chance to apply again, we did, and we became the only college in the United States to win that award twice. These pins on the map show you where Dickinson centers are located, but then we have dozens and dozens of other partner programs. Just among these 18 Dickinson programs, though, we cover every major at the college. So every student has the option to go and study in their field, but no one is required to study abroad. It's a program we really love. We see the majority of our students study abroad, and it's something that we love to see students do whenever possible. Sustainability is something else that we're really into. So it's in very fine print there, but we were named #1 in the nation among all colleges and universities by the Association for the Advancement of Sustainability in Higher Education. The year after we got that recognition, because how do you top being #1, we became carbon neutral. So today's Earth Day. Earth Day last year, we announced that our campus had achieved carbon neutrality. So this is something that we're really into, deeply committed to, and it's something that, very much like the global focus, is represented as a kind of strength across the curriculum and a contextual piece across the curriculum. Both global education, sustainability emphasized across every department on our campus. Our grads are really successful. So 98% employed in professional internships and grad school. Our law school acceptance rate is 94%, and med school 95%. Our grads just do really, really, really well. We do emphasize a lot of those hands-on experiences. You see in the bottom right there, 94% of our students are doing hands-on experiences. We guarantee an internship for every student who wants one. Okay, this is where we're located, Carlisle, Pennsylvania. We're part of the capital region in the state, about 17 miles outside of Harrisburg, the state capital. So a suburban small town, but in a really beautiful area. So the Appalachian Trail passes about 2 miles from campus, but we're right in this little town that's been recognized as a most livable city and a best college town. And because I'm a college mom, I'd say I'd point to the top 20 safest college towns as maybe our strongest accolade, but a really wonderful town, and about 30 restaurants in a 3-block radius of the campus. So small town, but lots of little things to do, lots of activities, and a really beautiful region around us. Here's a quick note on the admission process. And I think the thing that I would draw your attention to, maybe 2 things. One is right across the middle of this screen between need-based financial aid and merit scholarships. And essentially, you could receive funding in that combination that goes up to the full cost of attendance, but we guarantee that we will meet 100% of the demonstrated financial need for every student that we admit. So that's an important piece, and the admission process is laid out here. I think that's it for my time, but I loved talking with you, and I'd love to see your questions in the Q&A. Thanks, Russ.
Thank you. Again, she mentioned the Q&A. That's where you can ask questions. Up next, let's hear from Carroll College.
Awesome, thank you so much. Hey everyone, my name is Jamie Severson. I am an admission counselor at Carroll College. This is a beautiful, beautiful school. So as you can see from the picture, Carroll College, we are located in Helena, Montana. So we are up in the Rocky Mountains. We are literally surrounded by mountains 360 degrees. So it's a really beautiful place. This picture really shows a cool view from campus too. So that building in the bottom right is our main building on campus. That was the whole college at one point, but now it stretches down all the way around to the left side of the bottom of the picture there. So that gives a good view of our mountain view that we get from the classroom. Carroll College has about 1,200 students. So we are a small private Catholic liberal arts school. We're diocesan in our Catholic identity. So that just means we're affiliated with the Catholic Diocese of Western Montana. That diocese is actually the whole western half of Montana, which is kind of cool. And the home cathedral is in Helena. And this picture shows, I can go to the next one. Oh yeah, fun fact, we have dogs on campus. Not just our mascot, but we have a program called Anthrozoology that really showcases an awesome pre-vet track, where we have 100% acceptance rate into veterinary school. I really like it because there's just dogs all over campus, which is pretty fun. But speaking of the cathedral, so this top left picture is in the center of Helena in the town. That's our home cathedral. We have a really awesome Gothic cathedral as part of our hometown, which is pretty cool. When they built the cathedral, the bishop's name was Bishop Caroll, and he decided to downsize that cathedral, which, by the way, that cathedral is massive, but it was going to be bigger. They downsized it to build Carroll College. So we have physical ties and also spiritual ties to the Catholic Church in Helena. The picture on the right there, that is our Capitol building. So Helena, Montana is the capital of Montana. Really beautiful area, and also awesome opportunities to get to know legislators, to get to know lawmakers. It's common for our students to go sit in on bills, listen to hearings, and to meet legislators and lawmakers in a way that a lot of people don't normally get to. We have really close contact to our senators and lawmakers, which is unique. And then the bottom picture, that is our downtown area. Peep the mountain line. If you can see the man, it looks like a man laying down on his back in the silhouette of the mountains. That is a guy, he's famous. His name is the Sleeping Giant. There's a lot of things around Helena named after the Sleeping Giant, but it's a really funky rock formation that looks like a man laying down, which is kind of fun. You can see it from campus too. Helena, Montana is an incredible place to go to college. I'm a Carroll graduate of 2019, and it was a really, really fun place to go to school, especially because of the outdoor opportunities. So these are pictures of just a few opportunities that we offer. We have a program called CAMP, which is a student club. It's run by 16 student leaders, and they take people on excursions all over Montana and all over the world, actually. And so it's our most well-attended club on campus. There's hundreds of students in this club. And these are some pictures from their adventures. So cross-country skiing, the bottom left, they do a spring break trip down to Moab in Utah. The bottom middle, that's one of our crazy camp leaders. And then the top right, some awesome mountain biking. Fun fact, National Geographic just named Helena, Montana as one of the top 20 mountain biking towns in the world. And so the main trailhead is actually a couple minutes from campus. So incredible opportunities to get outdoors and enjoy nature. We really pride ourselves on academic excellence at Carroll. We are more of an academically rigorous school. We have a liberal arts foundation. And so we have that liberal arts core for all students. And so students actually get a holistic education where they are able to dive into a bunch of different subjects along with their major. But we also have really strong STEM focuses at Carroll. I think one of our most attended programs has an awesome statistic with that. Our medical school acceptance rate out of Carroll is 85%. The national average is about 40%. So we're stoked our students are over double the national average of getting into these medical schools. But we have over 40 undergraduate majors and some growing graduate options. A couple of those are on the right there. So accelerated nursing, that's a 15-month fast track nursing program. We also have a 4-year bachelor's in nursing as well. But then also a master of social work that is starting this fall. We're very excited about that. Carroll College was ranked best colleges by US News and World Report for the best regional college. This distinction is important because we've held it for 10 years in a row, and they look at things like retention rate, graduation outcomes, and job placement as well. Our top programs, we have biology. So we have a ton of pre-med students that we send off to medical schools all across the country, including the Mayo Clinic. Our nursing program, so we have over 45 spots each year. 100% of our nursing grads last year passed their NCLEX final exam, so it's a great program. And then business and anthrozoology. Anthrozoology is the study of human and animal interactions and bonds. 100% of students that have wanted to go to veterinary school after studying that have gotten into the program. Carroll's a Catholic school, so rich Catholic identity, lots of opportunities for students. St. John Paul II actually said, Carroll College is meant to be a beacon to the church in the Northwest. So we love having those ties. And then, yeah, I'll just touch on the application process. We're test optional. Applications start in August for seniors. And I think that's it. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm happy to talk.
Thank you very much. Questions can be asked using the Q&A button. Also, check out the chat. There's been some information sent to you that way. Contact info, links, that sort of thing. Up next, we'll hear from Concordia University, Chicago.
Awesome. Thanks, Russ. While my presentation gets warmed up here, I'll introduce myself. My name is Jefferson. I'm one of the undergraduate admissions counselors here at Concordia University, Chicago. As a university, we were founded in 1864 as actually the first Concordia University in the system. You can see here, we are located in a very kind of suburban, very residential area in the suburbs of Chicago in River Forest, Illinois. Here, you can see the skyline in the back. So while you'll be learning and focusing in a very, again, residential, very quiet, focused area, the third largest city in the country is about a 20-minute train ride away, or about 10 miles straight east. Here at Concordia, we have a ton of majors and programs that you can get a degree from. I would say we're most known for our College of Education. So we were actually founded as a teacher's college. And so anything from your elementary education all the way up until your secondary education, we are very well known for that. And that's kind of those top majors there. But beyond that, I would say our most popular programs are psychology, sports management, exercise science, computer science. We actually have been winning competitions both domestically and internationally, going head to head with some of the biggest schools in the country and beating them at computer science competitions. So we've been very pumped about that. And then lastly, really kind of rounding out those STEM areas, our health sciences programs are very, very popular. And that's in large part due to the fact that you'll be taught by people who are actually coming into the classroom from the health sciences, or excuse me, the medical industry itself. So all of those things are going to be very robust. We'll talk about career placement in just a moment. But I first want to touch on campus involvement. So we have 45 plus clubs and organizations on campus. I would say the most notable are our music ensembles. So we tour both domestically and internationally every other year. So both our Wind Symphony and our Capel choirs, our two largest ensembles, will tour. I think a couple years ago, our Wind Symphony actually played at Carnegie Hall, and they've sold out every night. So if you are involved in music, we want you here and we want you involved in those ensembles. But yeah, intramural sports. So if you're not looking to be a part of a D3 athletic team, you can join a team with your friends. Beyond that, our largest activities are our campus activities board. They bring in, comedians, artists, bands, things like that to campus. Our Black and Latino student unions, as well as our spiritual life groups. We are a university rooted in the Lutheran Church of Missouri Synod, so that spiritual life piece is going to meet you where you're at and really be there to help develop you in that spiritual sense, if that's something you're looking for in your college experience. So I mentioned very briefly our Division III athletics. So we have right now 19 D3 athletic teams on campus, and you can see the list there, both men's and women's teams. We just rounded out that 19 number with a new stunt and cheer team. So we're going to be competing in stunt competitions starting next year. But yeah, almost half of our students are involved in athletics in some way. So Cougar Nation is a very real thing. When you get to campus, you're going to feel that support and that accountability from your peers that are going through the same things as you, whether they're early morning workouts or late night practices, things like that. So your next steps, I always like to go through this very quickly, no matter where you are at in your college search process. So the first thing would be to apply. Our application opens the July before your senior year, and it's completely free. It's right through our website. You can go ahead and apply, send us your official high school transcripts, and you'll probably like to know, as a few schools have talked about tonight, we are test optional as well. So all we need are your high school transcripts, and we'll be able to review you for admission. From there, you file your FAFSA. We'll talk about scholarships in a moment. And then we encourage you to take a visit and come see us on campus. Let's talk about those scholarships really quick, because this is a huge, huge part of your college experience. So we offer merit-based scholarships to all of the students who come to Concordia, Chicago, based on your unweighted GPA from high school. So this fall of 2021, students are receiving anywhere from $10,000 to $25,000 just for the work they're doing in high school. So all of those classes matter, and that's a huge part, again, of your financial aid package. We do offer music scholarships, again, going back to those really well-known music ensembles, as well as some scholarships that are related to our mission rooted in the Lutheran Church of Missouri Synod. So lastly, I just want to kind of finish up by talking about, why choose Concordia? Why do students, pick Concordia out of all of the universities across the country? First and foremost, we have a small liberal arts academic environment. So on average, our classes are about 15 to 17 students per one professor. Going into that community piece, things like diversity, things like that individual attention, that very close-knit approach to learning are all things that draw students to Concordia. That would be our number one, probably that community piece. But second is our post-undergrad success. So 90% of our students within 6 months of graduating are either in a job that they're pursuing or in a master's program they're looking to get into. So all of those things are drawing people to Concordia. Lastly, please reach out if you have any questions. I'd love to help you through the admissions process or anything you have on your mind about the college search. And yeah, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much. I'm going to ask our reps to come back on camera and turn on their microphones. We'll do a quick little Q&A in the 6 minutes we've got left here in this session. Value-added stuff, both for whoever's attending live and for those accessing the on-demand recording. And I'll have you answer in the same order that you presented. And simply, the first question is, what one piece of advice would you give someone going through the college search process? We'll start with Lycoming College.
Oh, geez, my apologies. I accidentally hit record and it totally changed my screen. My piece of advice is just to stay in touch with the schools that you're interested in. Make sure you're checking your email. I don't think anybody in the world receives more emails than a high school student in a college search. So with that, also don't be afraid to tell the schools that you're no longer interested in to stop contacting you, so that those of us who you might be interested in can get in touch with you easier.
Xavier
Yes.
University.
Well said there, Tori. Yeah, my quick thing is, as best you can, have fun in the process. Right now, all of us are working with seniors who have been admitted, and they have about a week left. Well, technically 8 days left to decide where they're going to college. As you can imagine, a lot of them are stressed, right? So leave the stress and the uncertainty for senior year, right? But the further or the more that you prepare, the more you have fun, sophomore year, junior year, as you start to dream about what do I want my college experience to be like, the more fruitful that process is going to be for you, right? Because ultimately, all of us are in this profession because we love working with prospective students who are about to head into college. And that's a lot of fun, right? To help to walk right there with you and dream along with you. So have fun when you're searching for your college, sophomore year, junior year, and save all the stressful stuff for senior year. But have fun. Make sure you're having fun in the process.
Kenyon College.
Yeah, I'm going to cheat really quickly and mention two things. So one, the essay. Really quickly, guys, as you put together your essay, whether that's the supplemental essay or the Common App essay, be yourself, all right? So if you are a nerd, be a nerd. If you're a jock, be a jock. If you're a theater kid, be a theater kid. Let your personality come through. Be authentic with that. Second thing, this is the time of year where I get questions from juniors like you who are putting together their senior course loads. And they ask me, okay, oh my gosh, my AP environmental class I really want to take, it's going to conflict with this AP math class that I also want to take. Guys, you can only be a senior once. Just pursue what you want to pursue, right? And everything else will kind of figure itself out. If you really want to take that AP environmental science class, but it conflicts with that social studies class, take it, do it, go for it. And just make us aware in the Common App additional information section that there was a class conflict there, and we won't hold it against you for pursuing what you want to pursue as a senior.
Dickinson College.
I'm going to pick up on the don't stress too much theme and say there are some really heavy conversations that you need to have through this process. So put some boundaries on that. Maybe decide with your family that one night a week, the dinner table conversation can be about the college search, but that's it, just that one. Get into the heavy conversations about what you're looking for and what you're weighing, and gather the advice of your family members, talk finances, work through that serious stuff, but to contain it, maybe just pick one night for it.
Carroll College.
Yeah, I just say there's a lot of stuff going on with the college search, and there's a lot of questions. You don't have to know the answers. Reach out to your admission counselor, because it's literally our job to know all the answers. So get to know your admission counselor. They know people on campus, and they can connect you with lots of different people, like coaches, professors, anything like that. So your admission counselors are there to help you. Don't be afraid of them, but you don't have to answer the call every time, maybe just one time.
Concordia University, Chicago.
Yeah, and I just want to round out all of these things. I think all of these have been fantastic points of advice. And I would just kind of add that pursue a college and an opportunity that you actually want to do and that you think is going to be a good fit for you, not what maybe a family member thinks you should do or what someone thinks is best for you. I always hate when someone wants to go and design video games, but their parents say you'll never get a job in that, and so they choose something in business or whatever. So do something that you want to do and something you're passionate about, because it's almost impossible to finish a college degree that you don't care about. So yeah.
Great advice from all of you. I'm going to ask one more question, squeeze it in here, because I like to play talk show host, but this one is a little more fun, I suppose. What is your favorite event or tradition on campus? And we'll start again with Lycoming College.
Yeah, I think my favorite tradition on campus really represents the type of small knit community that we have. So every year, at least in normal times, we do a Thanksgiving dinner on campus. So near the fall holiday, our faculty and staff will actually prepare a full meal for our students, and we'll serve our students. So it's just a really cool thing, really great event for our entire campus community to just kind of spend that time together, and really for us staff and our faculty to give back to our students and kind of support them in that way. So really cool event.
Xavier University.
Yeah, real quick, my favorite tradition is something we do every year on campus, but only happens once on campus each year, which is we camp out for basketball games. So it's pretty simplistic, but the big one is against University of Cincinnati. They're 3 miles down the road from us. So every year we host that game. It's called the Crosstown Shootout. So that's every other year because we do a home and home with University of Cincinnati. And then the year that we don't host that game, when Villanova is in town, we'll camp out for that game. So in order to get to the game, you have to camp out. So it's kind of a fun tradition we do just once a year.
Kenyon College.
Thanks, Russ. Yeah, so when I get this question, I immediately think of our first year sing and our ensuing senior sing. So first year sing is at the very end of first year orientation, the day before classes start here. We get on the steps of Ross Hall, which is our main performing arts center on campus, and you sing these 4 old-timey traditional songs about Kenyon with your first year classmates. Then you go through your 4 years, and then the day before graduation, you get back up on those same steps at Ross Hall, you sing those same 4 songs. It's just a really endearing, kind of bookends way to cap off your Kenyon career as a student and as a person.
Dickinson College.
All right, I thought of a bunch of them, but I'm going to share one. We have this plaza on campus, at the center of which is a giant bronze seal, the crest of the college. And legend says if you step on that as a student, you won't graduate. So it's hysterical to watch students. This plaza gets really busy, and students will be walking along, talking to friends, not even paying attention, but they will go out around that seal, like instinctively, they know not to stand on it. So the big tradition is that on graduation day, everybody stomps on the seal and takes their picture there.
Carroll College.
Yeah, we have a giant hill in the middle of campus that's the most popular sledding hill in the wintertime. So that people sled down it. And during orientation, they turn it into the biggest slip and slide I've ever seen. So that's a really fun event for students.
Concordia University, Chicago.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the basketball theme that was introduced by Xavier. So I mentioned during my presentation that Concordia is part of a system. And so there are 4 universities within the Concordia system in the Midwest. Each year we do what's called the Concordia Invitational Tournament, where it rotates every 4 years, or every year it rotates, and we play against the other Concordias in the Midwest. We get pep bands, cheer squads, obviously men's and women's basketball, and it's crazy. All 4 campuses basically converge on one for a whole weekend, and it's kind of our little version of a mini March Madness. So yeah, it's amazing.
Well, thanks for sharing your favorite campus traditions and all that great advice, and also all of the information about each of your schools. And thank you for joining us for this session. When you close this window, there'll be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, there are other events being hosted. Be sure to sign up for more if you haven't done so already. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other session recordings at strivescan.com/RMACAC. Once again, thank you to our representatives for presenting during this session. Have a great rest of your Thursday. Take care.